Hey, what's up, guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Going to be talking about the swing trade watch list for the week of 12/14/15. SPY is the very important chart to be looking at this week, and we will go a little bit more into that in just a second. So sit tight, and we'll be right back. Alright, so taking a look at the SPY, you guys can see the last time we looked at it, we were hoping that we are going to get a nice continuation move higher, break past these previous highs, and get up to test that 213 resistance area. As you can see, that is exactly what did not happen. The market rolled over and had a pretty big sell-off following the next few days. And here we are on Friday with a big gap down and a sell-off right back to that prior support area that we've been watching now on both these pullbacks. That was the resistance area that we were basing off bullish once we broke above that, which did work out for us. Now here we are again looking at that 201. If we break through that support area, that can definitely lead to some panic and more sell-off into the market. Had a decent amount of volume on Friday and could possibly see more volume and more selling coming in on Monday. Everybody in this right now had the whole weekend to think about, hey, what's going to happen on Monday and what am I going to do if that 200 201 support area does decide to break, and how much lower could that cause the market to go. Alright, so let's take a look at the watch list for this week. First up on the list I want to look at is FNSR. And when you're in these type of market conditions, where there's not going to be as much strength and a lot less breakouts, you're looking to trade things that are on higher volume, high relative volume, and that are moving. This is a perfect example here on FNSR, as we just had this pretty big gap up, and that gap up actually caused the fill back onto the gap down. So kind of going to be an interesting level next week on prior highs here around 1450s to see if we gap above those and possibly get another gap and push. Not something you probably want to hold overnight, something you probably want to do a quick flip on within the day. Volume looks good and the candle closes up near its top. Could be a possible hold overnight for a gap up, but that kind of depends on intraday action and what we're seeing there. So keep that in mind. That you want to definitely be locking profits on this one if you do take a trade. Next up on the list, let's look at HDGE. This one's kind of interesting here. This one actually kind of moves opposite of what the SPY is going to do. So if the SPY does get a big sell-off in on Monday, then that'll give us an opportunity to continue this breakout above this 1080 area. And as you can see, back in September when you had the huge panic and market sell-off, this thing really took off pretty good for us. And I kind of want to see if that's going to happen again. So watching the SPY as well as this is a good risk reward opportunity if it does present itself. Obviously we want to see this prior resistance we're breaking above turn to support, and again this trades opposite of what the SPY is typically doing, so keep that in mind if you do decide to trade it. Next up is NUTR. Going to keep this one on the watch list. Kept it on last week as well after they got the break above 25, but didn't get too much follow through on it. One day up and then it came back down. Still holding on to this this uptrend here, and it's 20-day trading between the 20 and 50 here. So same thing, I just want this thing to continue to consolidate higher, put in a higher low, and get another break above that 25 area, and I think that we might be able to see that into next week, but of course that might depend on how the markets are looking overall. Next up on the list is CZR. Oops. Been watching this one for quite some time and done a little bit of trading on it, and now it's starting to form and consolidate this nice wedge here, and I'm going to continue to watch this and see if we get some sort of breakout on this wedge. CZR is got a lot of negative press towards it, news, things like that, but they are trying to get their stuff situated out and sorted out so they're not going through bankruptcy, and they still got a few months before they're going to probably put up any more updates. So that gives us some time to collect some buyers and possibly get a second breakout on something like this. Next up is GTY. and just had a pretty decent run on this guy here, and kind of starting to consolidate out now. So I'm just going to watch this 1715 area to see if it starts to hold as support, and if it does, look for a break back up to the top side and possibly a continuation on this sort of flag setup. Alright, and back to the SPY, guys. Please keep the SPY in mind when trading the markets, and understand that at times like this you get into an uncertain market, and it is very difficult to predict which direction that market is going to go. So price action and volume really is the key factor in trading in these types of markets. It's much more dangerous and much more volatile. So though winners can add up very quickly, losers can also add up twice as fast. So keep that in mind, and keep an eye on this 200-201 area to see if we hold that as support. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also, check out our website, eatsleeptrade.net. From there, you can follow us on Twitter, as well as like our Facebook page, so you can stay up to date on all the stocks that we're watching and trading. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.